Hi everyone, now we are at calculus lecture number 3. So let me discuss about the arc length. So before entering into main topic, so first let us take a plane curve, okay? Then after that I'll find a small piece that is an arc length, okay? So, okay, so let us take, this is curve, okay? Assume this is y is equals to f of x, y is equal to f of x. Now in the interval a to b only, or let's take this is b, a to b. So in this interval, this piece, so the piece from here to here, so this piece which is inside a and b is called an arc. This entire thing is a curve, total curve, and this piece from here to here, from here to here, this piece is called an arc. So this length I want. Okay, how to find this length? So what is this point? So this point must be a comma, so this is a comma f of a, right? A comma f of a. And what is this point? B comma f of b, this point, which is one function, right? So this length is f of a, this length is f of a, and corresponding this length is f of b, f of b. Okay, now I want this length, right? So in general, for example, if you have uh, this kind of for example, what is the length of this line? So from here to here, line segment. Okay, so for example, this point is x1 y1, x1 y1, right? And this point is x2 y2, x2 y2, right? Now how to find this line? Straight line distance, right? So therefore distance or simply length is equals to, or simply write length, so length of the line segment, so which is, so L is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square, okay, plus y2 minus y1 whole square, isn't it? So this is line segment length, right? This line segment length. Indirectly this we can write as, so variation x coordinate, so delta x you can write, so delta x whole square you can write like this also, no problem. And this is variation in y coordinate, so therefore it is delta y square, because it is variation in y coordinate, you can write like this also, right? So this is line segment line, straight line length, but it is not like that, right? So if I use same formula here, what I will get, I will not get this length, right? Exactly this length I won't get. So therefore let us zoom this portion only. So from here to here I am zooming this. So let us take that portion is this. I am zooming only this portion from A to B. So this is a portion now, right? So if I use, let us take, these are the endpoints, okay? So this is A comma f of A, this is B comma f of B, okay, right? So now if I want to find distance from this point to this point, indirectly I will get this distance. This distance I will get, but I want this distance, right? So therefore, by using this formula, delta x whole square plus delta y whole square, I will get this distance, straight line. That is what minimum distance, right? This is a minimum distance, but I want this distance. So what I have to do is, what I am doing is, let us divide this arc into, let's say, uh, some three pieces. Let's take one point is here, one and one point is here. Now it is divided into three pieces. This is one portion, this is second portion, this is third portion. Indirectly, how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm dividing the arc into three pieces. Now again, if I apply same formula, what I will get here? I will get this distance only. So from here to here, this one, and here to here, this one, and here to here, this length I will get. Understood? So if you are taking 4 points, understood? So if I am taking one more point extra, let us take here. So now previously this distance was calculated. Now to find this entire arc length, I'm dividing this entire arc into three pieces. First three pieces. Now I will add these lengths. So let's say this is L1, this is L2, this is L3. Okay, L1 plus L2 plus L3. But this is not exactly, but this is approximately equals to this arc length. Let's say arc length is some yes, total arc length. This approximately, this is not exactly. Now I am taking one more point extra here. Let us take what the point is here. Okay. Now what I will do, so instead of calculating this distance, I am finding this distance, and next I am finding this distance. Now this length is, so let's take this is x1, this is x2, this is x3, and this is x4, and this is x5. Now distance between x1 to x2, line segment length is, I am taking L1, and this is L2. Okay, this is L3, this is L4. So from x1 to x2, straight line length is L1. x2 to x3, straight line length is L2. Line segment length is L2. x3 to x4, line segment length is L3. x4 to x5, line segment length is L4. Now that is L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4. And this is approximately equals to again arc length. Now in this, which one is better? This one is better. Look at here. We are keep on minimizing the error. That means if you take more number of points, these line segments are very close to the original arc. That's what we are observing here. So if I take one more point between x3 and x4 like this, I'm taking one more point here. Between x3 and x4, I'm taking one more point here. Look at between x3 and x4, I'm taking one more point. Right? Now x3, let us take this point is x5. Now add this line segment and add this. Look at initially this was, look at x3, between x3 and x4 the line segment is this. Now x3 to x5, x5 to x4. Now it is very closing. So every time what we are observing, for example, let us take this is an arc. Okay, this is an arc. So initially I have taken only 3 points. So therefore, what is the length of this line segment? So this one plus this one. But this length, sum of these two lengths is not equal to exactly this arc length, right? So it is approximately equals to. Next, I am taking few more points. One point is here, one point is here. Okay. Now let us join these by line segments like this. Look at, now it is very closing to original arc. Now let us add this blue lengths, blue line segment lengths. Now it is very close to this black arc, black colored arc, right? If I take more number of points in between again, and let us take these 2 points here. Now let us add these points. So I'm adding this and this. Look at all these are very closing. So if you take more number of points, you are getting approximate lengths. So if you increase the number of points, you will get exactly length. So in this view, what I am doing is I am dividing this entire arc into infinitely many pieces. I am dividing into infinitely many pieces. Large number of pieces I am dividing such that each and every piece, look at, for example, I am starting from here A. So from here to, so here to here, a small distance, very small distance, which is 0.00000 something else like that. So a small piece I'm taking like this. So let us take that piece is this. If you zoom this, you will get this one. Zoom that. So you are getting this. Indirectly, this is a line segment. Now I will find this length by using this formula. X2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So likewise, each and every line segment length I will calculate and I will add all those lengths so that I will get this arc length. So that is my ideology. So therefore, arc length S is L is equals to square root over delta x whole square plus delta y whole square. So instead of writing like this, let me write this one delta xn, right, so that it will be very clear. So now, so this is delta xn whole square delta yn whole square. Okay. as n tending to infinity. N tending to infinity means what? The number of divisions are going to large number. That means large number of points are taken directly. So initially I have taken 3 points, next 4, next 5, next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. You take more number of points so that each and every piece of this arc, actually from here to here it is not a line segment, right? It is an arc. Actually it is an arc, but I am dividing into infinitely many pieces so that each piece become a small line segment. Okay, see for example, you take a circle, take a thread like this. Okay, now cut this thread, then it will become like this, right? Now this is a thread, cut this and arrange like this. Now it is a line segment. Now I will measure this one, I will measure this, then this length is nothing but this length, this perimeter. Okay, same like that. So what I am doing is, let us take this curve, let us this arc, and you stretch like this, then measure it. But how to measure is the main thing, right? It is not always possible measuring like this. That's why what I'm doing is, let us this divide this entire arc into small number of pieces. Look at from here to here. Now let us take this portion. I'm zooming that portion, I'm getting like this. Now let us take again this one. Now you are getting this one, only this piece. Now I am dividing into this piece. Now let us take this one. Now let us take this one. Again you divide it into half. Again this piece I am taking. Let's take this piece. Again we are dividing into half, like this. From here to here one piece, here to here is another piece. Again you are getting like this. Again you divide into half. You are getting like this. Look at, after a certain number of divisions, the piece becomes a line segment. And this line segment length I am going to calculate. All such lengths I will calculate and will add up so that I will get a arc length, this arc length. So that is my intention. So therefore, as n becomes large means, if you divide the more number of pieces as n becomes large, so therefore this become, what you will get, summation, right? Summation. Okay, instead of writing this, let us write summation. N is, so all those li's I will add. Let us write this is ln. So all those ln's I will add. Now you will get arc lengths. Okay, these are small line segments lengths. If n is 1, first line segment, L is 2, second line segment, L is 3, third line segment, like that. So all those line segments I'm adding. How many line segments? Large number of line segments, right? Large number of line segments. So as n becomes large, as n tends to infinity, as n becomes large, that means if you proceed for more number of divisions, the arc length becomes, so summation becomes integration square root over delta x whole square plus delta y whole square. I'm denoting the notation with delta x only as n becomes large. As n becomes large, this one I'm denoting with delta x, and here also delta yn. As n becomes large, delta yn represents delta y. Okay, now so therefore as n becomes large, this delta x I'm representing with variation in x, variation in y. Okay, same thing, but if it comes under integration, it becomes variation, right? Changes in x and changes in y. So delta x is nothing but dx only. Delta x or dx, both are same. This represents change in x. This also represents in change in x. But this notation we can use in summation, and this notation we can use in integration. Okay, this is called varying rate. Varying rate we can apply, we can use in integrations. So now let us take dx whole square common. So if you take dx whole square common, what will you get? 1 plus dy by dx, 1 plus dy by dx whole square, and dx whole square if you take out, you will get dx comes out. Or you can use dy out. If you take dy whole square is out, then what will you get? Integration square root over 1 plus, let us take this dy whole square common, so dx by dy whole square, dx by dy whole square, dx by dy whole square, right, into dy. So this is called arc length. So from now onwards, I will use these formulas for finding arc length. From where to where? From A to B. In the interval A to B only, right? A to B only. In that portion only I need to compute the arc length. So in this A to B, you divide these are possibly large number of pieces such that each and every piece is a small line segment. If it becomes line segment, then only I can use this formula, because this is the formula for length of a line segment. For example, you are divided into two pieces. It is not a line segment. What to do? Again, you divide into one more piece. Again, it is not becoming a line segment. Again, you divide into one more piece, such that it it gives you a line segment, until you have to cut this entire arc into large number of pieces, so that you'll get in large number of pieces you'll get, but each and every piece become a line segment. Now you calculate the length of such each and every piece line segment, and that line segment length is this one. So L1 length is this, substitute n is 1, n is 2, n is 3, like that. So all those lengths I'm adding. So as n becomes large, the summation becomes integrations by Riemann concept, by Riemann sum concept. Okay, so this is about arc length of a plane curve. Look at here, arc length of a plane curve. So consider a portion of the curve y is equal to f of x between x is equal to a and x is b. Then the length of an arc of a curve between x is equal to a and x is equal to b is given by this. Just now I proved it. Square root over 1 plus dy by dx whole square into dx, integration a to b. Similarly, if the curve is defined by x is equal to g of y between y is equal to c and y is equal to d, then the length of an arc of the curve is given by same. Instead of taking here dx common, I have taken dy common. Okay. And next one, if the parametric form of the curve is x is equal to x of t, y is equal to y of t, where t is from t1 to t2, then the length of the arc of the given curve is like this. So here dx whole square, dy whole square, right? So x in terms of t, therefore dx by dt whole square, variation of x, but x is in terms of t. So therefore by chain rule, it is dx by dt whole square. Similarly, it is dy by dt whole square. Instead of taking dx whole square, dy whole square, you take dx by dt whole square, dy by dt whole square. That's it. So this gives you the corresponding arc length in a particular interval. Okay. Now let us enter into, let us do one problem, then I will enter into main topic. So look at this, find the arc length of the curve. Listen carefully. So now it is a circle, right? Now in this, what is center of this circle? X minus 0 whole square, y minus 0 whole square. Therefore, center is origin, 0, comma 0, right? Let us take one radius circle. So assume this length is 1. So it is 1, comma 0 you take. This is minus 1, comma 0. So radius is 1 unit, right? And this is x-axis and this is y-axis. What I want for y more than 0? Y more than 0 means what? In first and second quadrant. That means I want only this arc length only. From where to where? From minus 1, comma 0 to plus 1, comma 0, which is in the first and second quadrant, because I want for y more than 0 only. Y more than 0 means only this arc. Total, this is a curve. This entire thing is a curve, but what is arc? A small piece. That piece is from here to here. That means for in first and second quadrant. So this arc length I want. So in general, without using any calculations, how to find this length? Only this length. So this total is perimeter, right? What is the perimeter? So circumference, right? What is the perimeter? 2 pi r, circumference. Okay. 2 pi into what is our radius? Radius is 1 unit. So total 2 pi units. 2 pi, this entire length. But I want only this piece length, right? Arc length, this arc length, but which is half exactly. So therefore, the required, the required, required. So therefore, the required arc length. Okay, the required arc length is how much it is? Is how much it is half, right? So 2 pi by 2, which is pi. So this is the required arc length. This is answer. Now let us do it by using calculations. Okay. So this is first method. So general method. So this is general method. So this is, the arc is very simple. Yes, that's why we are easily calculating what is the required arc length. Sometimes you may get some typical arcs, then compulsory to use the formula. So now second method. second method. So what is given to us? X square plus y square is equal to 1. You take y square is equal to some 1 minus x square. So that implies what is y value? Plus or minus square root over 1 minus x square. So y value both plus and minus. Why? Because look at in this, look at first and second quadrant, y is always positive, right? And second, third and fourth quadrant, this y value is always negative. But what I want, y should be positive. That means in first and second quadrant only. Therefore, here you have to take only y is plus only 1 minus x square. Okay. So plus 1 minus x square represents this above arc, and below arc between third and fourth quadrant, that is minus square root of 1 minus x square. So now we have to take in this, for the timing it is y is equal to square root over 1 minus x square. So now this we have to consider. Okay. Now what is arc length now? So the arc length s is what is s according to the formula integration a to b, right, square root over 1 plus what is the curve y is equal to, so therefore dy by dx. If it is x is equal to, then dx by dy you have to write. What is the formula? You have to use your wish. Okay, square root over this into dx. Okay, so in this unknown is dy by dx. Let's compute here what is dy by dx, right? So therefore assume this is 1, so this we have to consider, this arc we have to consider. Therefore from 1 implies what is dy by dx? Let us find the varying with respect to x and y. So 1 by 2 into root of 1 minus x square, it is derivative, right? And minus x square derivative minus 2x by chain rule. So this will be just minus x upon square root over 1 minus x square. Okay, now let us use this in the integration. Okay, yeah, so now what it becomes, let us take, assume this is a number 2, so use this second formula. So 2 implies, yeah, s is equal to, the required arc length is square root over 1 plus what is dy by dx? Whole square, right? So x square upon 1 minus x square, that's it. I have done square at a time, so into dx. And the limits are from where to where now? Here limits are matter, x limits we have to consider here. So this is x comma y, right? Look at the graph, this is x comma y. So what is x portion? Minus 1. Y portion is 0. Now I want to write only x limit, so minus 1 to 1 you have to write. So x is from where to where? Minus 1 to plus 1. X is minus 1 to plus 1. So now a is minus 1, b is 1, like this. Okay, if it is y, you need to write y limits. Okay, corresponding y limits you have to write, but it is x limits. So is equals to, yeah, let us simplify this. So minus 1 to plus 1, take the LCM inside. So 1 minus x square minus x square, it cancel out. So 1 by square root over 1 minus x square, 1 minus x square after taking LCM. Okay, 1 minus x square. Now use this, so we have to solve this. So let substitute x is equals to some sine theta or cos theta, your wish. So I am using sine theta. Okay, now x is equal to sine theta, so then dx is equals to cos theta d theta, right? And corresponding new upper and lower limits to calculate. So x is minus 1 first, this is old lower limit, right? If x is minus 1, substitute here, sine theta is equal to minus 1, right? So then what is theta value? Minus pi by 2. Okay, next if x is equals to plus 1, this is old upper limit. Now new upper limit theta is, substitute x is 1 in this equation, sine theta is equal to 1, therefore theta is equal to pi by 2. So new upper and lower limits are pi by 2 and minus pi by 2. So therefore now this becomes integration. Now theta limits you have to apply. So minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, plus pi by 2. Okay, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, square root over, sorry, 1 by, right? So 1 by, yeah, 1 by square root over 1 minus x square, that means sine square theta, sine square theta. By substitution technique I am solving this integral, nothing else, into d theta, right? D cos theta into d theta, cos theta into d theta. Now simplify this integral, what will you get? So integration minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Yeah, so square root of 1 minus sin square theta is cos square theta, but root is there, so cos theta. So cos theta, this cos theta will be cancelled out, so these two will be cancelled out, only d theta will remain, right? So therefore here only d theta. So that means what is the value? Pi by 2 plus pi by 2, right? Pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Answer is pi, that's it. So therefore the required arc length is pi units. Look at here also I got the same by using general method. This is by using integral technique. Okay. Okay. Next problem number 2. Find the arc length of the curve x square plus y minus 1 whole square is equal to 9. So for this, let me draw the graph first. So let us take this point is 0 comma 1. Okay, this is 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 1, which is center, right? Look at the center, x minus 0 whole square, y minus 1 whole square. Center is 0 comma 1. So with this center, you have to draw the circle of how many units? Radius 3 units, right? So consider this is a circle. Assume the rough diagram. Okay, this is a circle. So assume it is x-axis and this is y-axis. It is a y-axis, right? So this entire arc length I want. Again, same without any calculations. The total perimeter is 2 pi r. So 2 pi into 3. Radius is 3. Total 6 pi is supposed to get. Okay. Now let us compute by using the arc length concept. So what is arc length? S is equal to square root of integration a to b, right? Square root over 1 plus dy by dx or dx by dy, your wish. Dy by dx whole square. Dy by dx whole square into dx. If you want to use, you can use dx by dy whole square also, no problem. Whatever the formula you can use. But I want to use here parametric format. See, to use this formula, I have to express the given equation x square plus y minus 1 whole square is equal to 9 as like this. Y is equal to f of x format I have to express. Then I will use this formula, right? So now to express in this format, this one is become somewhat difficult one. So you have to express, expand it y minus 1 whole square and you have to collect what is y, or simply y minus 1 whole square this side, 9 minus x square, and what will get actually, look at here. So y minus 1 whole square, yeah, let me write here, x square plus y minus 1 whole square is equal to 9, and from here what is y minus 1 whole square? So y minus 1 whole square value is equals to 9 minus x square, 9 minus x square. So therefore y minus 1 is equals to square root over 9 minus x square. Okay, 9 minus x square, and y is equal to 1 plus square root over 9 minus x square, square root over 9 minus x square. Okay, so this one. So this you take as y and then proceed same like what I have done just now from problem number 1. Or you can express the given circle equation in parametric form. So that is, let us choose x is equal to some r cos theta kind of, right? X is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. These are parametric forms. So t, I am writing t, right? So in this, by using this idea, so what I am choosing is now x is equal to r means radius, so 3 cos t I am choosing. X is 3 cos t and y is equal to 3 sin t I am choosing. Y is equal to 1 plus 3 sin t I am choosing. Why? Because it has to satisfy the given equation compulsory. I will explain that. So 1 plus 3 sin t. I am choosing like this. So how I am choosing 1 plus, why I am choosing 1 plus? Because you take the circle equation x square plus y minus 1 whole square. It has to satisfy. Let us look at what is x square? 3 cos t whole square. 3 cos t whole square. Next plus y value 1 plus 3 sin t. 1 plus 3 sin t. Okay, 1 plus 3 sin t and plus, yeah, 1 plus 3 sin t minus 1 and this one whole square. You're supposed to get 9, right? Then only it will satisfy. What is this now? 3 cos t, 9 cos square t. 9 cos square t plus, what is this? 1 cancel out, 9 sin square t. Look at, you take out 9 is out, 9 is out, so you get 9. Cos square t plus sin square t value is 1. Look at it, it is satisfied. These two equations satisfy the given circle. Therefore, you can take x as 3 cos t plus y is equal to 1 plus 3 sin t. Instead of 3, if you take 2 cos t and 2 sin t, this equation will not satisfy. That means 4 cos square theta, so 4 will get, but it will not satisfy this circle equation. So you have to choose that x and y cleverly. So now these two work out. So under these two equations, then under these two equations, you find out the arc length or entire curve length, right? S is equal to integration t1 to t2, right? Square root over now dx by dt I am writing. So this formula I want to use, third formula what you have seen just now. So plus dy by dt whole square, dy by dt whole square. So these are parametric equations of the circle, okay, into dt. Okay, now to generate circle here, can you say the limits of t? I want circle, right? So therefore t must be 0 to 2 pi, 360 degrees, entire 360 degrees I want. Then only I can generate this full circle. If I take 0 to pi, only half circle I will get, not half, which present in first and second quadrant. Only this portion I will get, but I want entire circle because I want total arc length, right? So therefore I need to take the limits as 0 to 2 pi. So therefore the limits are 0 to 2 pi. T1 is 0, T2 is 2 pi, and square root over, I want dx by dt. Now, what is dx by dt for me? X is 3 cos t. Now, what is dx by dt? Minus 3 sin t, right? So minus 3 sin t, minus 3 sin t whole square. So this is dx by dt whole square plus, now what is dy by dt? Y is 1 plus 3 sin t. What is dy by dt? 3 cos t. So 3 cos t whole square, 3 cos t whole square, okay, into dt. So you will get 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi. So square root over, so 9 sin square theta, 9 cos square theta. So 9 will comes out as 3 square root over sin square theta plus cos square theta, sin square t plus cos square t, isn't it? Cos square t. So what will get? So finally this is 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi, yeah, 3 into 1 into dt, right? So finally 3 into 2 pi minus 0, 2 pi minus 0. So answer is 6 pi. That's it. So this is total length of the curve. So this total curve length. Okay. So this is how to find curve length by using parametric equations like this. Next one, yeah, applications of definite integrals. So this is our main topic, applications of definite integrals to evaluate surface area and volumes. How? By using revolutions, by using revolutions of curves. We have to rotate the curves. By using that, we can find the surface area and volume. Only in Cartesian coordinates we are going to do. Look at this surface area of revolution of curves first. Okay, let y is equal to f of x be a curve and consider an arc AB between x is equal to a and x is equal to b. Just now we have seen already y is equal to f of x, and between a and b you take a small piece, that arc I am denoting with AB. Okay, let the curve be revolved about the x-axis. For example, look at this, look at AB. So this is an arc, look at here, a and b. So now that is an arc between a and b. Look at, assume this point is a, this point is a, and this point is b, this point is b. So between a and b, arc I am taking, this is an arc, right? Now what I am doing, let the curve be revolved about the x-axis. This arc I am removing, I am revolving around this x-axis. So if you revolve like this, it will, see, if this is my AB, look at the video, if this is my AB, now this is x-axis, now I am revolving like this. So I am revolving like this with x-axis as a center axis, like this I am revolving like this. So here x-axis, look at here, x-axis is the center axis. About x-axis, this AB you are rotating like this. Then this kind of cylinder, a small piece of cylinder you will get. What I want, the surface area of this cylinder I want, surface area. Okay, how to find the surface area? First you cut out this cylinder. If we cut out here, they will get a piece like this, the rectangular piece you will get. Cut out this cylinder from wherever you cut and arrange like this as a rectangular piece. Look at this is a rectangle. Now what is this length AB? This length AB is nothing but B minus C, right? Or simply delta x, you write, because these are on x-axis. So let us denote with delta x. So therefore this length is, this is AB actually. This is AB, right? You are cutting here and you are arranging as a rectangular piece. Now this length is delta x. This length is delta x. Okay. Now what is this length? Look at this length is nothing but this circle length, right? Look at this. This circle length indirectly. What is this perimeter? What is this perimeter of this circle? 2 pi r, right? So 2 pi r. So 2 pi r. 2 pi. What is our radius? What is the radius now? This is a radius, right? From the point B to this small b. Now what is this length? Is nothing but y, distance y, right? This is y. Let us take it as y. So therefore 2 pi into y is a perimeter, which is the circle perimeter. So indirectly this length is 2 pi y. That's why I have written here 2 pi y. Look at this length is 2 pi y. Now what is the area of the rectangle now? So area of the rectangle is nothing but surface area of this cylinder indirectly, isn't it? So therefore area of the rectangle, or let me write the surface area. So surface area is nothing but area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle. Now what is area of rectangle? L into B, right? Length into breadth. What is length? 2 pi y. 2 pi y into what is the breadth? Delta x. Okay. So this gives you the surface area of this cylinder. Yes or no? So similarly, look at one more. Look at this figure. I want to find out this surface area. Okay. First, initially arc AB have taken here. Look at this arc AB. So this green color one, let me mark with red color. So this AB I am taking. So AB is an arc. This arc I have taken, and this arc. Look at initially in the first example I have taken like this, right? Now I am taking like this, slanting. Okay. Now you rotate this around x-axis. What you will get? So this kind of figure you will get. This kind of figure. Look at this kind of figure. I want this surface area. Again, same ideology. You cut this and you arrange like this. Same by using the same concept. I want to find the surface area. But before that, in previous problem, you look at here, previous figure. Here, look at the radius is not changing, right? Every time the radius is same, y only radius. But here in this figure, what is the radius now? So the radius is, look at the radius. For this circle, this is a radius, right? But if you take this is your circle, then this will be the radius. So this radius is less compared to y2. Y2. So y star is less than y2. And compared to this circle, y1 is less than y2. So every time radius is changing. So different circles you are getting. Actually my intention is I will divide this entire figure into large number of circles. Large number of circles over x-axis. For example, assume this point is A and this point is B. This point is B. So between A and B, I will divide this entire figure into large number of circles. Then I will take each and every circle. Then I will find what is a perimeter. So what is the perimeter of circle? 2 pi r. Right? 2 pi r. So now, so each and every piece. So let us write 2 pi. Now what is our radius? Radius is nothing but y. But y is changing. That's why I am writing y star here. Star represents y is changing. Okay. So each and every circle perimeter is 2 pi y star. Then what I have to do? How many such circles are there here? Infinitely many. So all those perimeters I need to add. If I add all those perimeters, indirectly surface area I will get. Perimeters means not inside portion, only upper one, right? Perimeter means this one only this length. Area means inside portion, but I am not calculating area. I am calculating only perimeter. Perimeter means only outside region you will get. So if we calculate all the outside regions of all the circles, indirectly we will get the surface area of this figure. So now each and every piece perimeter is 2 pi y star. Then what I have to do? To find the surface area, let us denote it with capital S. Small s is arc length. Capital S denotes surface area. Sum of all those things, 2 pi y star. So how many such circles are there here? Into delta S. So that many circles you can generate here. So as 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 the number of circles as the number of circles are very large, let's say possible infinity, okay, or very large, then the summation becomes integration. So integration 2 pi y. Now no need to write y star because already integration you are taking, therefore y is varying. So what is arc length now? Square root over 1 plus, yeah, so dy by dx whole square. Why I am taking dy by dx whole square? So now x is varying. So on the x-axis it is revolving, right? About x-axis it is revolving. Existing here, each and every circle having the center on x-axis. That means having the center in between A and B only. How many such centers you will find here? Large number of centers you will find. But every time you are changing circle means what? You are changing radii. You are changing centers. Centers you are changing. For this you will get one circle. For this point. For this point you will get another circle. 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 So with respect to this x, you will get different circles. That's why I am changing dx. So x is changing now. X is changing means with respect to x, you are collecting all those circles. Now this will gives you total surface area of this kind of figures. Okay. Now let us look at one more. Assume it is y-axis. Okay. Now let us take x-axis. Let us take this is x-axis. X-axis. Okay. Now the figure is revolving around y-axis. Right? It is revolving around y-axis. Again, same story. Again, you divide this figure, this object into large number of circles. Take a plane. You cut like this you cut out. Every time you will get small circles you will get. Let us divide a large number of circles and calculate the circumference or perimeter of each and every circle. Okay, you add up all those perimeters, indirectly you get the surface area. Same idea. So therefore, again same story. So 2 pi r, this is perimeter. So 2 pi. What is radius now? Radius is nothing but this distance is radius, right? For this circle, let us take this as a circle. Now this is the radius. This is r. But what is this r? X distance, right? If this is x-axis. So this length, if this length is x, then this length is also x. So therefore 2 pi x. Okay. So why we are writing x? Let us write x star because x is changing here. Because if you take this circle here and this radius is very large. Look at the bottom one. Look at this bottom one. I think it is visible. Look at this one. I am marking with dot dot dot. So consider this bottom circle. So for this circle, what is the radius? So this is the radius, right? This is the radius. But this radius x is more than this x. That's why x is changing. Every time x is changing. That's why I'm writing x star. Now what is surface area? Again same story. So total perimeters you need to add. So 2 pi x star. But how many such circles are you can get here? Delta, yes, arc length. What is this arc? So let us take PQ is an arc here. So PQ is an arc here. PQ is an arc. So taking this arc, okay, by taking PQ as an arc, and this arc, assume, look at this video. So this is an arc PQ. Now you are revolving around y-axis, like this you are revolving. So as the number of circles are large, possibly infinity, number of circles are very large. So this becomes integration 2 pi x. Now what is arc length delta s square root over 1 plus dx by dy order right now. Why? Because the arc revolving around y-axis. So therefore on the y-axis at each and every point you have to take the circles, right? Now y is changing, y keep on changing, so therefore dy means dx by, so y is varying, so y has to vary with respect to y, it has to vary. So x is in terms of y, x is equal to g of y curve we have to take from where to where, corresponding limits a to b you take from a to b, here also from a to b, a to b. Okay, so this is ideology how to find surface area. Look at formally surface area of a solid revolution. Let y is equal to f of x. Let y is equal to f of x between x equal to a and x equal to b defines a curve. Okay. If the given curve is revolved about the x-axis, then we obtain the surface area as, look at the second figure, y is equal to f of x, one curve I have taken, and let us take an arc between x equal to a and x equal to b, and that arc is revolving about x-axis. Then this kind of formula is generated just now, 2 pi y into square root over 1 plus dy by dx whole square into dx. Okay. Similarly, second one, if x is equal to g of y, look at third object, between y is equal to c and y is equal to d defines a curve. If this given curve is revolved about y-axis, then we obtain the surface area as 2 pi x into square root over 1 plus dx by dy whole square into dy. So these formulas I am going to use to find the surface areas. Okay. So overall, what we're having is here, if the curve is revolving around x-axis, okay, then we have to vary x, that's what dx, right? If the curve is revolving around y-axis, then with respect to dy we have to integrate. That's it. Let us do some problems related to this. Problem number 1, continuation problem number 3. Find the surface area generated by revolving the curve y is equal to 2 into root x from where to where, 1 to 2 only, about the x-axis. So roughly, let us look at the graph of y is equal to 2 into root x. Y is equal to 2 into root x. If we square on both sides, we will get y square is equal to 4x, right? So it's a parabola, right? So central axis is x-axis. Therefore, if this is my x-axis and this is y-axis, right? So this is the curve. This is a curve. Okay. So this is y is equal to 2 into root x. This y is equal to 2 into root x, some roughly. So it comes down. But this is not required. Only I want between 1 to 2. Only this portion I want. From 1 to 2 I want. So let's take this is 1 and it is 2. So from 1 to 2, what is the arc? So this is arc. I am marking with red color. So from 1 to 2 means only this piece. Only this piece I have to take. Red color one. This is an arc now. This is from between 1 to 2. So this arc you have to revolve around x-axis. Okay. So what kind of figure you will get? Look at here. Look at. So this is y into 2. Y is equal to 2 into root x curve. So now between 1 to 2 means only this portion I have to consider. Only this portion. Okay. So this red color one. And that's portion you are revolving around x-axis like this. So this shaded one you will get. So this kind of object you will get if you rotate around x-axis. Now I want surface area of this one. Okay, surface area of this figure. So now since it is rotating around x-axis, so therefore the formula becomes, so therefore surface area denoted with capital S is equal to integration, okay, a to b, integration a to b, and yeah, so 2 pi, right, 2 pi into, look at this circle, this upper circle, look at this one, and what is the radius of this circle? So this is a radius, right? This height is a radius. Okay, or you look at this one, this circle you look at, right? Whatever circle, either this one, look at this one, I am looking this, so let us denote with highlight this one, look at this, I am considering this circle. So for this circle, Okay, yeah, for this circle you look at what is radius for this. What is the radius now? So this is the radius, right? So this is nothing but height. So this is the radius. So what is this length? This length is y, right? So this length is y. So therefore radius is y. So 2 pi y, 2 pi r. So circumference you got, and total circumference I want to all circles. So therefore curve length I want, right? So square root over 1 plus, it is revolving around x-axis, therefore dx will come. So dy by dx with respect to x we have to evaluate. So dy by dx whole square. So don't by heart the formula, just by understanding concept you can write the formula. So this is the formula for the surface area, right? In this you collect all the unknowns. So first unknown is y. So here what is y? It is given in the question itself, 2 into root x. Okay. And next what is a? Lower limit. What is that? 1. Look at from 1 to 2, right? From 1 to 2 you have to integrate. So a is 1. And what is b? B is equal to 2. And next unknown is dy by dx. What is dy by dx? Already y is given to us. You derivative one time. Dy by dx 2 into root x. So 2 into root x derivative 1 by 2 into root x. So 2 will cancel out, just 1 by root x. Okay, 2 out, just 1 by root x. So now just plug in back what you will get. So which is equals to integration. What is a now? A is equal to 1, b is equal to 1 to 2, 2 pi into what is y? Y is 2 into root x, 2 into root x into square root over 1 plus dy by dx whole square. Dy by dx is 1 by root x, its whole square is 1 by x, just 1 by x, right? Into dx, where x limits are 1 to 2. These are x limits. That's why look at x is lying in the interval 1 to 2. Look at here, x is lying in the interval 1 to 2. Look at in the question. X is lying in the interval 1 to 2. That's what x limits are 1 to 2. Here x is 1 to x is 2. Now simplify this. X is 1 to 2. Yeah, what will you get? So 2 pi, so 4 into pi into root x, and take LCM. So root 1 plus x will be the numerator and denominator root x. So this root x will be cancelled out with the numerator root x. So root x and root x is out, right? Yeah, now evaluate this. So this will be integration 1 to 2. So 4 pi will comes out. 4 pi will comes out. Integration 1 to 2, right? Square root over 1 plus x, right? 1 plus x dx. Now this will be what will get? So 4 pi root 1 plus x. So 1 plus x power 1 by 2, right? So power 1 by 2 means it is 1 by 2 plus 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1. 1 by 2 plus 1. And x integration is x derivative is 1, so that you write as 1. If it is 2x, then divided by 2 you have to write. Okay. I hope you know the evolution of integrals, and where the limits are x is running from 1 to 2. And substitute this, you will get as, so this is 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 will comes as a numerator. So 8 by 3 into pi. Okay. Substitute upper limit. Upper limit is 2. So 2 plus 1. So 3. So 3 into root 3 upper limit. Because 3 power 3 by 2, right? 3 into root 3 directly. And lower limit is substitute 1. 1 plus 1, so 2. So minus 2 into root 2. Minus 2 into root 2. So this is the required surface area of this object generated by the arc 2 into root x, which is revolving around x-axis. Okay. And one doubt, see, to evaluate these problems, does such kind of graph is required? It is not required. This kind of graph is always not required. No need the graph. Look at this problem particularly. So what you want here? First thing, you know about which axis it is rotating. If it is about x-axis, this is a formula. If it is about y-axis, you know what is the formula. After that, y is unknown, so y is equal to x. Y is equal to f of x. So this is f of x, 2 into root x. So substitute here, that you will be having, and dy by dx derivative this one with respect to x, that you will get perfectly. And x, since it is dx, x limits you want, and that limits also will be given in the question itself. The only thing is about which axis it is rotating you require. That's it. Graph is not required. To understand very clearly, you can draw your graph. Okay, but it is not necessary. Try to visualize the things in your mind. Okay, let us do one more. So until we'll clear this so that it will be very clear. Yeah. Next one. Number 2, problem number 4 continuation. Find the surface area generated by revolving the curve x is equal to 1 minus y limits are 0 to 1 about the y-axis. Okay. Now about the y-axis, look at a rough diagram about this. Yeah. So take this x is equal to 1 minus y. So that is nothing but x plus y is equal to 1. That means this is a line equation, straight line equation, intercepting x-axis at 1 and y-axis at 1. X by 1 plus y by 1 is equal to 1, right? That means it is of the form x by a plus y by b is equal to 1, right? So then this kind of straight line intersect x-axis at a comma 0, y-axis at 0 comma b. Same thing. So therefore, this line intersect x-axis at 1 comma 0, y-axis at 0 comma 1, right? So therefore, intersected these 2 points. So this is 1 comma 0 and this is 0 comma 1. So at these 2 points, it is intersect. Now what I want, between 0 to 1 only I want. So between 0 to 1 means only this portion. So this you have to consider, only this space, not all these things. And this one is revolving around y-axis, right? So now this one you have to rotate around y-axis. Can you visualize what you will get? You will get a cone kind of, right? So only this portion, let me mark with another color. Look at, only this one you have to take. From 0 to 1 means only this black one you have to take. This black color one. And this one you have to rotate around y-axis. So this is y-axis. This is y-axis. This is x-axis. Now around y you have to rotate this. Only this line segment you have to rotate like this. Then what you will get? You will get a, so like this you will get. Look at. So now this is the line segment what is given to us. Now this one is moving like this. So what will you get? So now this is moving like this about y-axis. Like this it is moving. Okay. Now cone you will get, right? Cone kind of you will get. So look at here. Look at this figure. So clearly, so this blue one is our required line between 0 to 1 and this is rotating around y-axis. So this is y. Okay. So this one is y. So it is the y-axis. Around y it is rotating. So you will get a cone kind of reverse cone. Okay. And what is the surface area? Again same story. First you write the formula. So S is equal to, yeah, integration a to b or c to d, whatever your wish. If you want you can write c to d, no problem. Okay. C to d 2 pi into 2 pi r. Now circles, what kind of circles you get? This kind of circles with center axis y-axis, right? Center axis y-axis for the circles. Therefore, what is the radius now? So this is the radius now, right? So this will be the radius. What is this radius? This is x, right? So radius is x. So therefore 2 pi x. 2 pi x. For this circle, this is the radius. So 2 pi x and the curve length is 1 plus, it is revolving around y-axis, therefore dx. So dx by dy. Revolving around y-axis, therefore y need to be, that's why dy. Dy means dx by dy whole square. So now let us write all the unknowns here. So first unknown is c. What is c? So these are for y limits, right? Because dy we are doing. So now y is equal to c. So what is c value now? Here look at the problem. Y is running from 0 to 1 only. So c is 0 and d is equal to 1. Next x, second unknown, x is equal to 1 minus y. Okay. It's like x is equal to g of y kind of. Okay. G of y is 1 minus y. Yeah, fine. Next, what is dx by dy? Dx by dy is with respect to y minus 1. Now plug in back all those values. What will you get now? So therefore, surface area of the given object is integration c is equal to 0 to c is equal to 1. Okay. 2 pi. Now what is x now here? X is 1 minus y. 1 minus y, right? Into square root over 1 plus dx by dy whole square. So minus 1 whole square is plus 1. So finally get root 2. So into dy, right? So this will be 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 2 pi, 2 pi, 1 minus y into root 2 into dy. So finally 2 pi into, so 2 into root 2 into pi will comes out. Integration with respect to y, that's why 1 minus y will be inside dy where limits are 0 to 1, right? Now this is equals to 2 into root 2, okay, so pi 1 minus y, so y minus y square by 2, so this is with respect to y, and y limits are 0 to 1, y limits are 0 to 1. Now substitute back the limits, so 2 into root 2 into pi, yeah, substitute the limits. Upper limit is 1, so 1 minus half, upper limit is 1 minus half, and lower limit is 0 minus 0, so 1 minus half is half, so half and this 2 will be cancelled out, so finally pi into root 2, so surface area will be pi into root, that's it. Okay, next one. Yeah, look at this problem number 5. Find the surface area generated by revolving the circles now about the x-axis I want. So about the x-axis, so roughly you know the diagram. Yeah, center is at what? 0 comma 1. 0 comma 1 means on positive axis, right? So this is 0 comma 1. Let us take this as 0 comma 1. So this is a center. Around this, so this is a circle of radius 1 unit. Okay, and this circle is revolving around x-axis. So this is x-axis and this is y-axis. It is y-axis, right? It is revolving around x-axis, right? So what kind of figure you will get? Look at this kind of figure you will get. So now this is a given circle, blue one, its center 0, 0.1. Now this is revolving around x-axis. So this kind of it look like, you know, you take a balloon, okay, one round shaped balloon you take, and you press it like this horizontally. You press both sides. What kind of figure you will get? That kind of figure you will get here. Take a balloon and press horizontally both sides like this. You press like this and imagine the shape of that object, same shape you will get. This one, this is the one. Okay, now I want surface area for that. Okay, surface area of that object. Now clearly, so surface area S is equals to integration a to b, a to b. Now it is revolving around x-axis, right? So 2 pi into, now such a circle radius is how much? So this is a circle, right? Now what is the radius? Now radius is this is the radius, right? See, it is rotating like this, right? It is rotating like this, right? Like this it is rotating, therefore in this direction only you have to take the radius, so therefore the radius is this one. So this is the radius. What is this height? It is y, right? You can take this one also, this is also radius, but it is rotating in this direction, right? Like this it is rotating about x-axis, it is rotating, so that direction only you have to take that radius length. So therefore 2 pi into y, right? What is arc length now? Since it is about x-axis, therefore square root over yeah, 1 plus dy by dx whole square, dy by dx whole square, right, into dx, into dx. This formula you can use, or since the equation is typical one, since y minus 1 whole square is there, so therefore you can use this formula also, a to b. So 2 pi y into square root over dx by dt, parametric form. Arc length I am changing, that's it, dx by dt whole square plus dy by dt whole square, dy by dt whole square. Since it is in terms of t, therefore instead of dx we write dt, that's it, nothing else. So now t is varying, t limits a to b like that, either this one or this one you can use. So I'm using the second one. Okay, you use this, take it exercise, you use this formula and evaluate, take it exercise. Okay, so I'm using the second one. Yeah, I'm using the second one. So then you have to give the parametric equations of such circle. So then choose the proper equation so that the equation will satisfy. So x is equal to, look at this circle having radius is 2 units, center at 1 and radius is 2 units. So radius 2 units, center is 1, right? So now r is 2, right? R is 2. So r cos theta. So therefore 2 cos theta. 2 cos theta, x is equal to 2 cos theta, or t. 2 cos t. Let me write t. Okay. So t it is. So 2 cos t and y is equals to, since it is y minus 1, so 1 plus 2 sin t you take. Why I'm taking 1 plus? Because when you look at the equation, minus 1 is there. This minus 1 need to be cancelled out. That's why I'm taking plus 1 here. Now if you substitute these two equations here, definitely it will satisfy, and 4 you will get. 4 is equal to 4, therefore it will satisfy. Therefore these two equations represents this given circle. Compulsory that has to represent. So these two equations represents this blue line circle. Okay. Now, so in this, what are the unknowns now? So clearly, yeah, to generate this circle, what should be t limits now? Complete circle I need to generate, therefore 0 to 2 pi you have to take, right? 0 to 2 pi compulsory. Okay. Then, so what is a value? A value is 0 and b value is 2 pi, isn't it? Next unknown is y. What is y? Look at in this integration, y is unknown. Y is equal to 1 plus 2 sin theta you take, 2 sin t. Next unknown is dy by dt and dx by dt. Now what is dx by dt? So dx by dt value is, look at dx by dt, minus 2 sin t, minus 2 sin t, and dy by dt is 2 cos t. So plug in back all these unknowns. So therefore you will get this one as, so integration a to b, that means 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi, or 2 pi into y. What is y value here? Y value is 1 plus 2 sin theta, 1 plus 2 sin t, 2 sin t into square root over dx by dt whole square, minus, so 4 sin square t. Directly I am writing 4 sin square t plus dy by dt whole square, 4 cos square t, 4 cos square t, 4 sin square t, 4 cos square t into dt, into dt. Okay. Yeah, let me make it very clear. So therefore these calculations are separating. Yeah. Yes. So into dt, then proceed. So this is equals to integration 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi, 2 pi into 1 plus 2 sin theta, sin t, 1 plus 2 sin t, plus 2 sin t, and here 4 we take out, sin square t plus cos square t, which is 1, so 4 4 will come out as 2 into dt. Now simplify this. So 2 pi into 2, 4 pi will comes out, isn't it? Now integration of 1, so t plus 2 sin t, okay, 2 minus cos t. Integration of sin t is minus cos t, right? Derivative of sin t is cos t, but integration of sin t is minus cos t, and limits are 0 to 2 pi. Okay, 0 to 2 pi. Now substitute back, so 4 pi. Okay, let me do in the next page. So 4 pi, 4 pi, upper limit is 2 pi, right? So 4 pi, 2 minus 2 cos t. So 4 pi plus, what is given? So 4 pi into t plus 2 minus cos t. 4 pi into t plus 2 minus cos t. 2 minus cos t. When the limits are from where to where? Limits are from, so let me simplify this. So minus 2 cos t directly write. Okay. So therefore minus 2 cos t, 2 cos t, and the limits are from where to where? 0 to 2 pi. These are t limits. Okay, t limits are 0 to 2 pi. Yeah, substitute. So 4 pi into, yeah, upper limit is 2 pi, so 2 pi minus 2 cos 2 pi, 2 cos 2 pi. So this is upper limit, minus lower limit is 0, so 0 minus 2 cos 0, 2 cos 0, right? So now 4 pi, yes, so cos 2 pi value how much? 1 plus 1, so 2 pi minus 2, so 2 pi minus 2, this one minus, and this is minus 2, cos 0 is 1, so plus 2 minus 2 cancel out, so 2 pi will get So total, how much will you get? So 4 pi into 2 pi, so 2 to out, so 2 pi. So answer is 8 pi square you will get. So this is the surface area, and here uh, some doubt you may get. Here radius is 2 units, but I have taken here 1 unit. No problem. If you take 2 units, it will come down like this. It will come down like this. So around x-axis it will rotate like this, right? So therefore it should be above the x-axis or touches x-axis. So therefore we should take here radius must be 1 unit you take. Then only this concept is true. I have taken 4, but you take it is 1. But same ideology. Okay. And with this I will stop.